hate puppies. It's a good podcast.
I feel threatened.
I'm in New York.
Is he in New York? I think he still is in New York.
Yeah, he's at a Mets game right now.
Oh, my God.
You know, because he's a diehard Mets fan.
Because that's what he would do.
That's how he rolls.
I mean, all vacation all the time. I mean, I know he can do his job from anywhere, but like...
But can he?
Don't you have to like show things and sign things and...
You would think.
Be with people? I mean, I guess people buy and sell cars on the internet now without even seeing them. I mean, I guess.
Well, and in this market, people have been buying houses sight unseen. I put an offer on a lake house sight unseen.
Wow.
In the middle of this whole thing.
How's that going?
Yeah, I didn't get it. The next closest, the other dude put like 60 grand more, and I went up.
Oh, wow.
Sight unseen. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Pallet House, only podcast dedicated to solving first world problems and hopefully helping you figure out what beer you should be drinking this weekend or
not.
The beer you should be avoiding. Full transparency, I've had one of the beers that we're trying today.
Yeah, and full transparency, I bought something that I knew would be disgusting.
Yes, but I have not tried the beer through the lens of the deli.
We've seen beers come and rise and fall with the lens of the deli.
I'm banking on it.
It's a microscope lens. Like, it really hones in on it.
You do get forced to address the subtleties of the beer. For better or worse.
For better or for worse.
Microscopes. Love looking at things under a microscope, Troy.
Yeah, you do.
That is kind of my MO.
Speaking of microscopes, let's get into the elephant in the room. We didn't put a podcast out for the first time ever last week. That was weird and wild, and we appreciate everyone who reached out to us and lets us know you actually listened, so that was nice.
In fact, I would like to speak on that for a moment. Y'all need Jesus. Like, I had more people reach out to me this past week, which was, look, it's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's nice to know that people look forward to us on Fridays.
They apparently do. I mean, honestly, they were reaching out. They were like, "Is everything okay? Is iTunes screwed up?"
Yeah.
I heard
that happens too.
Oh, well, we've seen that.
Yeah.
iTunes has not released it, and that's how usually we find out. It's some irate listener.
And I've had it with other podcasts.
But I got to be honest, man. It was kind of overwhelming.
Yeah, it was.
There was a lot of people that reached out.
Well, we've been talking about it over the past month or two. We've been on a wild whirlwind of travel schedules and work schedules. And again, we're not recording this on a usual night. That's why it's just the two of us. I mean, we've been squeezing these in whenever we can. And sometimes we've pushed them to the very last second, meaning a Thursday night to put out Friday. And then last week you had someone get sick. And then it's like, well,
I've had a week, my friend. And I couldn't bring myself to do it. I really couldn't. There was just too much going on in my life, and I just was like, you know what? This is one of the things that I'm gonna let go. So I've been transparent with this audience for
7 years.
7 years. So I'll be semi-transparent, but some of it I don't really want to talk about, and some of it I do. So I'll probably talk about bits and pieces.
Well, you've got 2 sick kids.
I mean, it's all part of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's all part of it. Yes, COVID is here, unfortunately.
For the first time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's wild.
Which I'm shocked you're even here.
We got the doors open and the fans on. My wife works with COVID patients every day, so I figured if I don't have it by now, then so be it.
No, I respect it. But, for starters, I just didn't think, oh, God, see, that's how quick. It's that quick, dude. Omicron runs fast, like a cheetah.
It is running through our schools right now.
Like crazy.
Yeah.
Like crazy. And so I had...
my kid is in the class with your kids, so there's a chance I already have it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, it was kind of a perfect storm of travel.
Of shit.
bad juju, things happening out of my control and things in my control that sucked. But it's been rough. So I'll give you the quick laundry list without trying to like dive into too much of it. I can tell you that definitely, like, I've realized I probably need to focus a little more at home.
Yeah.
So we've had something pop off here in kind of my family dynamic that I don't think either of us saw coming. And that threw me for a loop and made me kind of reevaluate some things and realize that I need to focus, and kind of everybody, maybe we need to like take a step back from certain things, right?
It's always good to step back, get a new look on things, and dive back in. And
yeah, so I had to take a break. I was like, look, my family's important. I need to
more than the podcast.
Yeah, which I don't know that I, in full transparency, maybe I didn't even see that. You know what I mean? So,
well, the podcast is work. I mean, you and I talk offline about this. I mean, we enjoy it. We love the feedback. It makes it worthwhile. We enjoy doing it. We enjoy, you and I enjoy getting together. But it's definitely, it cuts into the family life dynamic, and we pride ourselves on being good husbands, fathers, friends. So we got to work on that, like. And
I think I have a lot of things that pull me in a lot of directions.
Yeah.
So marriage.
You have a lot of friends.
Yeah. Well, I got one I'm more focused on right now.
Yeah.
That's my wife. I need to.
Rightfully so.
I need to kind of refocus some energy there.
Yeah.
We're in a tough spot. Well, we're on it though.
Yeah.
And the podcast wasn't going to happen. Like,
yeah.
I couldn't do it. Then, boom.
Yeah.
COVID shows up. That's scary in its own right.
Yeah.
More family, right? Like, oh shit. One of my kids is sick. Fast forward a couple of days, another kid is sick. Oh my God. Okay. Confluence of events, right? Piling on. Then work-life balance. A couple people leave, right?
You're talking work.
Work. A couple people leave at work. There's no one on the bench.
They're
to fill in. There's no one there.
They're like, we need you to be the starting pitcher, bat, clean up, also come out of the bullpen and manage.
So while you could look at this as an opportunity, considering everything that's already unfolding, I'm like,
it's the last thing you want.
The last thing I want is more
work
responsibility.
Because you do work. I can vouch for your work. When you're working, and
but I think I've been maybe
working too much.
Correct.
Yeah.
So then to get my workload literally doubled was
a little much
for me. So that kind of that shook me a bit.
Yeah.
Right. Then one of my buddies, who's a groomsman, who was my roommate in college, roommate after college, started our careers together, living together. Groomsman at my wedding. Full liver failure.
Oh no.
In the hospital, vented. Still don't know if he's going to come out.
Wow.
Like, this has been going on now.
That's awful.
Devastating, right?
Yeah.
So like now mentally, I'm torn in so many directions.
A lot of directions.
So now I got family issues squared.
You're not even like torn, like you're not even torn in different directions at this point. You're like shredded. Like there's nothing to even grasp onto to pull in any direction. It's like,
and then
I just scooped up a bunch of paper that's gone through a shredder, and it's like, I'll pull on this, and guess what? It's just disintegrating in my hands.
And now a friend of ours,
icing on the cake right here,
passed away.
Yep.
So I'm like, there's sickness, there's marriage concerns, there's work concerns. There's
death. There's impending death. Maybe
there's impending death. I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
I couldn't do it. To say that I had a bit of a mental breakdown is probably fair.
Yeah, I mean, when we talked,
I probably sound better today.
You sound way better. When I reached out to you last week, we always talk the day before, and when I reached out to you Wednesday, I called.
I think my response was quite simply, I don't know that I can do a podcast tomorrow. And they just left it at that. And know what I appreciate about you? Know what I appreciate about you? You didn't ask me a fucking question.
Yeah. Well,
you said, should I tell Lee? I said, I don't know yet. I'll tell you in a couple hours. But right now, I don't think I can do a podcast tonight.
Yeah. Well, your first response was I called you and you didn't answer and you didn't call back, which kind of my antenna started going a little wiggly.
Oh, and allow me to apologize to there's still a lot of people I have not spoken to.
Yeah.
And I just...
You can't... This is a better way to talk to them all, honestly.
most of those people listen to this.
Yeah.
That have been reaching out. Just know, as you can hear, it's been a lot.
Yeah.
And I haven't, and I know that's not funny. We're not really hitting all the.
Yeah.
It's been more. So I'm not coming with the funny so much. And I'm sorry I haven't been, but I have been mentally somewhere else.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah. So. I called you. I texted you and Marco Polo'd you all on the same night, and I didn't get a response. And then the next morning, you Marco Polo'd me, and you were like, "I'm not ducking you. Just got a lot going on right now." And I could just tell in your tone. I'm knowing you 12 and a half years. I was like, he's got some shit going on, and
he's broken a little bit.
Yeah, and I don't need to know why. I just said, "Can I assist? What can I do?"
Nothing.
And yeah, but to me that was the right answer. Like, I'm not there for that. I'm there for what can we do. And when you said we couldn't do it, I just said that's fine. I mean, obviously.
I thank you for that. Yeah. It was the only response that would have gotten another response out of me.
Yeah.
Because any questions would have been, "Hey, fuck you."
Yeah. I'm done with you.
I don't have time for this.
Lose my number, lose my address.
Yeah. So I've been kind of reevaluating some things. Now here we are on a Wednesday night because, well, I'm still kind of sad and broken. And then this death that just happened, that was not part of it. It's just been kind of has its continued to spiral. And now, now this and, safe home, Lutz.
But
we love you, man.
Yeah.
And
you will be missed.
Yeah.
Just glad you're not in pain.
And I will give him that. And that's something. But now that pain is ours.
Yep.
So, and our downloads are down.
Well, it probably
tried to make a joke and it didn't even feel right.
It landed because honestly, I think in a way this is a therapy session for us, and I don't think it helped. Like, yes, last week you should not have podcasted, but I think that kind of added to some of the issues. Like, it's just another thing pulling at you, and you didn't get your therapy session in on Thursday.
It was 7 years.
Yeah, 7 years and not missing one.
We missed one once, and that was
by design.
That was because of
out of respect.
Yeah, someone very close to us passed away, and I didn't feel like we should be
ha-haing it up,
making jokes in that particular week. The difference being a best of went out.
Yes. And I did think about it last week when I knew we weren't doing it. I didn't contact you, but I was thinking, well, he pushed something out though, because I mean, this streak that we've had, I know you take pride in it. Like,
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
We've always,
but you know what my thoughts were?
Fuck them.
I wish these fucking assholes knew how to put out a best of for me because I need a break.
Yeah, my wife asked.
You gotta learn.
You've taught me twice, but it's like a couple of years in between every one. And my wife did ask. She goes, "Could you or lead?" And I was like, "No, there's no way."
But that was
in her thought too.
I was sitting there, probably like crying in the shower and thinking to myself, these assholes could just push one out. The streak would be alive.
It's on us.
But I didn't even have I didn't have the energy to be like, "Hey, can you guys do me a solid? Here's the login. Here's the info." I'm like, F it.
Yeah. We've always said content is king. 7 years. If we go another 7 years without missing one.
Well, and so, all right. So you see, I saw this article this week, right? That someone put out. I know it was The Hobbit, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Geeks Under the Influence. He had shout out to another Richmond podcast and their whole network.
He's all over it.
Yeah, he's legit.
Yeah.
He's legit. He's probably the most prolific podcaster.
Richmond podcaster.
Yeah, sure. Locally.
Yeah. He's got a ton of shows. And
so he sent out an article the other day, and I guess you picked up on it.
On our Facebook page.
Yeah.
Because we have you nerds don't know, but we have a legit podcast, Richmond podcast Facebook page where we interact and share stuff.
Which apparently somebody logged into our Facebook. I haven't had the heart to really address this. But somewhere in the midst of all this, somebody from a device that I don't have logged into our Facebook page. And I've been so out of it. I didn't even notice till tonight. And I'm like, oh shit, a week ago someone tried to hack our page. I hope that didn't get...
Better not be The Hobbit.
It's not. Don't. But it was an article about like downloads and how many downloads you get and how many podcasts are out there in the world and really what those numbers mean.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, it was eye-opening.
It was. That's why I sent it out to the group. I didn't know you had already seen it, but that's why I sent it out to the group.
Well, I saw it when you sent it.
I didn't know if you'd already seen it.
I found later when I logged back into Facebook after a week of avoiding,
all of it,
the universe.
Yeah.
I saw that our numbers are actually in the upper echelon.
Yeah. I was surprised.
When you come down to download.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we're not in the top 3%.
But that number was surprisingly low.
Like,
it was like 6,000 and some downloads, and you're in the top 3%.
It got to the point, though, where I was looking at our numbers, and I'm like, oh, shit, we're like a small push away from being like top 25% of all the podcasts in the world.
Which
like,
sounds great.
Yeah, you keep in mind there's like 2 million podcasts a day that come out. But it still was eye-opening to be like, wait a minute, our numbers are good in the podcast universe. Like we're legit podcast. So that actually added insult. It should have made me feel good.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, and now I don't put an episode out. Yeah. Like now for 7 years we haven't missed a beat.
Well, we've always known our numbers. We've always watched, and they've always been, because they keep changing up the formula to where like one month we have way more, and then it drops down, and then there's no rhyme or reason. But we've always known, what was the initial 7 episodes? Most podcasts don't even last 7 episodes.
The average podcast dies out by 7. If you can get over 7, you are in rare air.
Yeah.
We did 7 years.
I know. So,
and I skipped.
And well, we've always prided ourselves on putting out the content. But, I mean, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and most of them don't do weekly podcasts for an entire year. Like that's just not.
Neither do we. I've given up.
Look, we're alcoholics. We might have had a sip of beer, but we're not. We haven't fallen off the wagon.
How fucked is this? When my buddy's liver failed, this is a man that I drank beer with for years.
Yeah,
that scared me. Like that was a shock to my system. So I've been over here like second guessing that whole thing.
Well, I didn't want to ask you if it was a drinking thing because
I don't know because I can't talk. He's in a fucking coma.
Well, and I've known people that have died of lung cancer, never smoked, or died of cirrhosis and never drank. Like there's no like.
I know 3 people that have had the exact symptoms that he has. I mean, literally the exact. As soon as I was told this happened and then this happened.
You knew what it was?
I go, oh. And Stu reached out to me, and Stu had sent me some more details. He's like, I have more details. And I was
from a jet plane over the Atlantic or something?
The guy's tuned in, dude. What can I tell you?
He is. If it's on Facebook, he knows what's going on.
Yeah, like he knows what's up. So he was undercover, and he sends me, hey, I found this. And he sent me the symptoms, and I was like, that's liver failure. And he was like, how's that? Those aren't even related. Like he's throwing up blood. Like that's not. I'm like, Stu, that's liver failure.
Yeah.
And I know that because this is the 3rd time I've seen it, and the 3rd time it ended up being the diagnosis.
Yeah.
The first guy is dead because he came out. He made it from this stage.
Was he a drinker?
Heavy. And he was like, you know what? Not for me. I'll just go out on my own terms. And
oh, wow.
6 months later, he was dead. Like,
just kept drinking and living life.
Yeah, he quit drinking for a week. And then he started drinking again, and he was like, if I die, I die. Yeah, well, that's not a joke. 6 months later, he was dead. Another guy, it's been 2.5 months right now, and he hasn't had a drink. And he just got his blood test results back, and his liver's, like, recovering and looking good. And they're like, don't push it. Like, we're not telling you you're back. And he's like, he's funny. He was a daily drinker, and he's like, I don't miss it. Now that I've pulled away, he's like, I realized I was a habitual drinker, not like I needed a drink. I would come home and that's what I did. I would mix this drink. I would talk to my wife. I would see my kids.
Mix another drink.
Mix another drink. Go listen to my records. This is what I did.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
That's
scary.
How I live.
It's scary.
Yeah.
And
it must be like once you get to 7 episodes thing, like once you get far enough away,
done.
It's like, why even mess with it again?
So now it's just, I hope to God he comes out of it and he can make that decision.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'll be talking to them, and we'll have that talk. But that's not my choice.
Yeah.
So the one thing I can say in common was they were doing bourbon challenges more often than they were doing beer challenges.
Yeah.
Not saying that's...
You're not the doctor. You're not saying this is medical proof. You're just saying...
Not a diet. I'm just saying that...
More liquor drinking than beer drinking.
All of us are dancing a fine line, and we all need to remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's always ramifications for your actions.
Yes.
And I have seen that, whatever it may be. There are always
Good
ramifications for your actions.
Good or bad.
You could do a lot of good things, and you'll probably have some good actions.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, no free lunches in nature.
No. So I did do something weird. I was trying to put good into the universe. I was
Nice.
in Nashville 2 weeks ago before my whole world blew up.
Yeah.
I'm sitting at this bar, right?
You'll never look at Nashville the same.
No. So I'm sitting at this bar, right? And I'm sitting here having drinks, and these like 4 guys come walking in. And they lean over my shoulder, and this place is packed, and they're like, "Hey man," the bartender, "Hey man, how much is a Miller Lite?" The guy's like, $9. The guy looks at his buddy, and he's like, "Dude, we can't
afford to drink here."
We can't afford to drink here."
Yeah.
And they're not even in like the nicest bar.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, that sucks." And I'm hearing them going through it.
I'm okay, and I would still I don't know if I'd be drinking there either. Like $9 a beer, like it
was a lot.
You're looking at $100 and some night.
So I'm sitting there and I'm hearing these guys, and they're like, "But it's Tommy's bachelor party.
Oh no!
Like, we got to get him a beer. Like, we got to figure this out, man. Like, what are we gonna do?" The one guy's like, "I mean, if we pool our money together, we go over there, and we get like a bottle or something, and then like we take it back to the room. Maybe we just drink there." And I'm thinking, this is not how you do a bachelor.
This is the worst bachelor party.
Yeah, I was like,
they blew their load just getting to Nashville.
But so like they're in the bar, right?
Yeah.
And the bachelor's like coming around the way, and I just turn around and I'm like, "Hey man, like how many of you guys are there right now?" And he's like, "Well, there's 4 of us here, and the bachelor's coming around the corner." And I was like, "What are you drinking?" And it all has to be the same answer.
Yeah.
The one guy goes,
"A Long Island iced tea, a Bahama Mama."
Yeah. The one guy goes Miller. The other guy goes Michelob. I go, "You already done fucked up."
Yep.
Now it's Miller. 5 Millers. And I ordered 5 Miller Lights, and I put them there, and they're like, "Man, you are the man." And I didn't realize how old I looked.
So they're like young. They're like 20 something.
Oh yeah, no, like they're young. Like this dude who's getting married, it's fucked.
Yeah.
like he fucked up. It is way too young for you to get married.
Young folk. Another great example why you wait till you're older before you get married, so you can do epic bachelor parties.
Yes, you can go do something with your life. But I feel so bad. I'm like, all right, this round's on me.
Yeah.
So I order up, and I'm thinking, boom, that's $50. Fuck it. I'm already sitting here with my buddy. We're drinking.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I saw one of them like looking at my buddy's beer. He was taking a leak, and he's like looking at it, like thinking,
I might
just grab this beer. And he touches it and picks it up to see how much is in it. And I'm like, that's my buddy's beer.
Yeah.
You might want to put that back down. And it was kind of in that moment that I'm like, these motherfuckers are desperate.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, guys, I'm buying this round. For starters, now I got 5, 22-year-olds who are like,
got your back.
Like now I can talk shit to any of these assholes to the left of me who've been nudging me.
Yeah.
And I'll be damned if that didn't work, but I'll get to that. So I ordered the 5 beers, and I'm like, hell yeah, we're good. 5 more dudes come in.
Oh no.
Like the bachelor comes over, they hand him a beer.
No.
Now there's 4 other dudes that had come in with him and 1 girl. And they're like,
oh, that's a fuck up. Bringing a chick to a bachelor party.
One of them had already gotten married. These country boys get married too early.
Oh yeah.
They're fucking
I'm aware.
Up. They're fucking up. So
and just so you know, when you grow up in the country and you're from a small town, it's just God's will that your love of your life you met in 3rd grade.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's how it works.
And I hope this guy holds on, because when I saw the rest of them come in, I was like, fuck, 5 more Miller Lights. Now I'm $100 in.
You did.
I did.
Wow.
I did. But I had just been preaching to my buddy how you got to put more good into the universe.
Yeah.
I'd given my whole spiel about how we're all insignificant. You've heard this, talk, and I don't know if I've ever done it on the podcast. But
no, but this is your thing. You overtip. You like to buy people albums, as you know. If you see a kid who's lusting after an album that they can't have, you're a great gift giver.
I'm always paying for them.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, at least. I'm always trying to put more positive into the universe because I feel like we're just atoms.
How often do you get returns on that investment?
I don't know.
Well, obviously you can't measure, but like you don't see people buying you things. Like you're not out. Like people are like, let me just grab you a drink.
Not what
like,
I'm looking for, though. I'm looking for like, I don't know.
Probably stuff you would never see.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just knowing there's good out there.
Yeah. Like I'm looking for the guy that was looking to do some damage to something and walked past me.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what that means.
In reality, you feel good when you do good. Like you probably felt better for helping these kids out. Yeah.
I did. And my buddy was like, that was probably one of the coolest things I've ever seen. But I'll be damn if like the bar didn't fill up and become kind of like a shit show.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I had this force field of 22-year-olds and they were like pushing people away. So like my bar seat was completely fine.
The square footage in front of you were golden.
Dude, 3 feet in every direction. And everybody that came in, they were like, hey man, back up.
Yeah.
Like,
get off our guy.
We're with the sir.
We're with a guy who could be our father. We don't know.
So, and then, you know, of course, they're talking about this is what my degree's in. This is what I'm trying to do. You know, we're having like kind of grown up conversations, but it was good. And
they just nursed one beard the entire night.
At that point, I was like, guys, I can't help you anymore.
Yeah.
But it allowed them to stop, come together as a group.
Yeah.
Let the little panic boys not panic anymore.
Yeah.
Everyone had their beer. They were talking. And they were like, and then they were able to talk to my buddy who's from Nashville. And he's like, hey, man, the cheap drinks are here, and here.
Yeah, so they got sent on the right foot.
And so then they were like, awesome, we're going to go do that, man. Hey, thank you guys so much. We'll see you. We're going to be at this bar if you need anything.
Yeah.
And then I knew, like, I had free reign.
I need $100. Oh, wait, never mind.
In the end, though, it was...
That's awesome.
It was positive.
I've done that once or twice, not nearly as much as you. And I'm usually really drunk when I do it.
I was drunk.
Okay.
I won't lie. I was a little drunk, but I didn't have to get on a plane until 8.
Usually do it for. I've done it for service members. Somebody's in uniform. I'll be like, I'll buy you a drink.
Okay. See, I can get down with it.
Yeah.
I did it for a drunk kid who was about to fuck up his buddy's bachelor party.
There you go. That's really nice. Did I ever tell the story about the one bachelor party I went on with a girl?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Okay. So I've been to Vegas one time in my life, and it was for a buddy's bachelor party. And it was only like, I want to say like 6 or 8 of us. And me and my buddy Mike flew out. We live here. The bachelor lives in Vegas. In Virginia Beach. And then we were living outside of Richmond, and he had other friends from medical school that were flying in. So we were meeting some of his other friends.
Okay.
And we were fraternity brothers with this guy. And he's like, oh, this chick's coming. He's like really good friends with this chick. And we're like, to Vegas? For
Hold on, he's not even like his girlfriend?
No.
It's just a friend that is a girl.
A friend that he's friends with that's a girl.
Ooh.
And
this can cause problems, but okay.
And we're just like,
does he like her undercover? Like, did he get friend zoned?
No, I don't think so.
Friend zoned. Is that
yeah,
the technical friend zoned?
Friend zoned.
Friend zoned. The did is ignorant.
FZ. No, I don't. I've hung out with her before. I knew her. Like I knew they were friends, and I knew they hung out. And I've been to Virginia Beach and partied with them and all that stuff.
Can we take a step back? Guys aren't really friends with girls.
That's my thought process.
Like he got friend zoned.
Maybe, but we were in our later 20s. Like I don't know guys that stay.
Oh yeah,
in friend zones.
That's true. In your 20s, that's right. Your testosterone's so low. No, don't bullshit a bullshitter.
No, I'm saying like I got friend zoned a lot in high school and college, but once I figured it out and I got to the friend zone, I was out. I was gone. Like once I knew I was in friend zone, there's no reason to stick around.
I guess it's possible because that's I think about it. I should back it up. I do have some girl friends,
but you wouldn't take them to your bachelor party.
No.
Yeah,
that's the difference. That's
so this is the first time I've ever been to Vegas, and I've heard all these crazy Vegas stories and seen the movies and all that stuff. So we go out there, and it was underwhelming. It was an underwhelming. You and I have been to bachelor parties that were 10, 20 times more fun than this Vegas bachelor party.
Was I in charge of putting those bachelor parties together?
I would assume you played a role in them.
Yes.
But like
just putting that out there. Okay. There's a big difference there.
But like we went to Lake Anna for a bachelor party. Not even a spot on a map. And we had a blast.
I did not put that one together.
Yeah.
That was a blast. But I put together the Ocean City and the Folly Beach.
Yeah.
Those were pretty epic.
Those were awesome, but they're not on the same page as Vegas, right? Like
Vegas is not all that people think it is.
Well, so that's what I learned. It was a little underwhelming. And it wasn't bad having her around, except for we had a girl in our midst the whole time, and we didn't talk and act like you would with the dudes. So it was always kind of, we made our usual jokes and, blah, 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 whatever. But it just was not a cohesive vibe because there was a girl around 24/7 sleeping in our room. Like
I have one we call them friend girls because I don't know how girlfriend always people are like what is it?
I think I know who you're talking about because I've heard you mention her. I don't think I've ever met her yet.
She's up in Northern Virginia.
Old school friend.
Old school. Yeah. Now she legitimately
could hang with the boys.
Dude, everybody says exactly what's on their mind. You just act like the guys, and I've never seen anybody hold anything back around her. She's actually the one, and she's actually the one that made me take a step back and go, hold on, you can.
Yeah.
So I second guess it because she really was like.
It's so foreign to me, though.
It is. It's just odd.
Yeah.
I would say that it's the anomaly.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's a guy who got friend zoned and he's just trying to like get in there. But she was always friends with all the guys, so everybody knew they could be themselves around her.
If this dude was friend zoned with this girl and he was about to get married, he wouldn't have brought that's not I think they were.
He was the one getting married?
Yes.
And he brought a girl?
Yes.
Oh. I'll say it again.
I'm sorry. I guess I left that part out. Yeah. The Bachelor brought a party. Brought a girl.
He brought a girl to the party.
But
how does your wife take that? I mean, come on.
Well, it's funny because I was talking about it the other day and I had an epiphany and I think I might have figured it all out. It just kind of came to me.
Okay.
Do you think the fiance was down with it to keep him in check, to keep the Bachelor in check? Because you've got
only if she's a plant, a trusted plant.
Well, they did. I mean, this guy, the Bachelor and the girl have been friends for a long time. So while the couple years he was dating the fiance, the girl and the fiance, they're friendly. So
it's certainly possible she was a plant.
It makes sense, right? Like,
no, it does. When you say it, it does. It makes sense. She could have been a plant.
I mean, no right bachelor in their head would have let a guest bring a chick to the bachelor party.
Now, my wife had a dude at her bachelor party, but he was a transvestite and was dressed up better than them. And honestly, like it would have been her, then him, and then some of her friends if I had to list them in order of who I'd banged because that dude he looked great, huge tits. So, like
I haven't met her yet.
Yeah, I don't. You see, you're playing the pronoun game. I didn't at that time because this was.
I'm just trying to not offend
16
anybody.
years ago. I didn't have to use a pronoun. I was like, he's hot.
Yeah.
Now, am I offensive?
Are they around?
Yeah, this is.
I've never met them.
Yeah, you see, but that's not a preferred.
Whatever the pronoun, I've never.
It's not they them.
I've never met your wife's friend.
Yeah.
Is that person still around?
Yeah, but I'm like now I'm.
They don't hang out.
I've always said he.
Well, whatever the pronoun, I'm not.
Now I feel like I'm being offensive.
You're hanging up. You're getting hung up on the pronoun.
See, this is the bullshit.
I'm just wondering about like.
I was always excited that he had great tits. like that was kind of where, like he had great legs and great tits, and that's all.
That's the anomaly. Like the girl coming to the bachelor party.
Now you see. Now I'm confused. Now I'm confused.
Never met her.
Him.
Whatever. You're hung
I
up.
could be the jerk. This time he could have been like, she. Damn.
Never been to the Pout House is what I'm saying. That person.
I just policed myself though. That's where we are now.
Yeah.
I'm pleasing myself. I'm getting old.
Well, that's what those 22-year-olds said.
Hey, sir, you're the best.
Where did they come from?
Alabama.
Oh, wow.
Alabama. Yes.
They probably drove. If they didn't have $9 to buy a Miller Lite, they drove.
They drove. I don't think it was the fact that they didn't have the $9. It was that they couldn't sustain $9
all night long
for 8 beers.
For times 5, 10.
Yeah, like whatever it was going to take. Like, you have $50 in your pocket. You can't go to a place to charge $9.
I've been on those bachelor parties.
Hell yeah. And actually, those are probably more fun.
Well, a lot of times those are fun because you rent a house somewhere and the house is the party. Like, there is no going out. It's just...
Which I always appreciate.
I know. That's so much fun.
I like when the house is the party.
Yep. Especially when you get a good crew of like... I mean, we've been on some, 15, 16 dudes, like...
When the house is the party, you get to stay there, right? And you have all your drinks during the day. You get good. By the time you go out, you need 3 beers.
Yeah. Yep.
And then you're going back home.
Yeah, because you're old enough to maintain.
Yeah.
You know, like...
So you go out and you get to where you're going, and it's like, I'm going to hold this beer for the next hour.
Exactly.
And then I'm going to hold this beer for an hour. And then I'm going to hold that beer for an hour. And then it's time to go home. We've been here for 3 hours.
Hey, look at that. It's time to leave.
It's awfully late because you're in maintenance
I
mode.
behaved last night. I only had 3 beers.
Yeah. You look at your receipt, and it's like $14, and you're like, hey, not bad.
Oh, this one's 30. Oh, I bought yours. That's right. We'll catch up tonight.
But you were throwing up all last night. That had nothing to do with the bar. I spent $15.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
You'll get me next time. And you can buy drinks. You can be extra generous because you've been day drinking on the beach all day. So
yeah, at that point. Oh, and what's better than day beach drinking? Nothing.
And it's nice, too, when you get to a comfortable spot when, like, four or 5 guys, your buddies can roll up to a bar. You're like, I'll get this round. And then you'll get the next round. And then we'll just make it all work. And you're not like, well, you had a Heineken and you had a PBR and you had a blah, blah, blah.
That's why right out the gate, I just established I bought 5 of this.
Well, and you didn't want to, like, make the bartender, like, work his ass off. It's like,
no,
grab 5 beers and show back up with them. Like, that's all.
Yeah, don't you dare start telling me orders.
Yeah.
I'm getting you this.
Yeah.
And I'm the same way when I buy rounds for my buddies.
What's that beer in the gold case up on the top shelf? I'll take that one.
Yeah. Like, have you guys tried the new Miller beer that just came out?
Yeah.
Dude, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
You should try it. Have you had it?
I would recommend Budweiser. You know, Beechwood aging is the best.
No, that's my new line. I tell people, I go, hey, you tried that new Miller? And they're like, what? I'm like, dude, it's this new like light beer that Miller's making. They're like, what? And I go, you got to try it. And then I order it, and they're like, that's a Miller Lite. And I'm like, oh, you've had it.
You should have told me. I wouldn't have gotten it for you.
But people, you tried that
awesome.
new Miller?
That's
always
awesome.
the line. You try that yet? Oh, man.
Because there is always a new one. There is some stupid new one.
They're like, no
always out.
way. You're like, yeah, dude. It's like low in carbs,
Awesome.
low in calories. I'm drinking it now.
We both are. Look, the can's old. It's a throwback.
It's a throwback. And light's misspelled.
So they have gone away. Like, this throwback look was like a temporary thing because they had that like fancy all blue label with the like diagonal.
That shit was lame, dude.
But it was lame. But then they went back to this and started selling it. I guess they were like Homer Simpson into the bushes about like, let's get away from that shitty blue label and let's go back to the white one with the.
They haven't changed it back.
They have not. How long? I mean, I feel like this has been
a decade.
Yeah, a decade.
And it was brilliant. But
So
it wasn't
brilliant.
until we did this podcast that I ever would have bought this crap.
Yeah, me too. I was we were both Coors Light.
I am a Coors Light guy.
Yeah.
I'm a Coors Light guy through and through.
Always have been. Always will be.
Always will be. Just don't buy it.
I have been buying more Miller Lite than Coors Light now.
If anyone asks me, Coors guy or Miller guy, I'm a Coors guy.
Yeah.
They're like, why are you drinking Miller Lite? Well, it's a better beer. Like, don't get it twisted. I did the research.
Yeah.
I ran the numbers.
Yeah.
I wish it wasn't true.
Oh, you're not listening.
We did the podcast, and
Well, you were a Beechwood Age guy.
so I'm a Coors full flavor, and of course, like I'm a Coors guy.
I thought you were a Bud Light full flavor, and that's why you were so hard on the Beechwood Age. Like I thought you ended up liking Bud full.
I do. I do.
But
I'm
Bud
a Coors guy, though.
Bud Light sucks.
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah. Okay.
No, but I'm a Coors guy. I like a Coors full flavor and
a
I like
Banquet.
a Coors Light.
Yeah, the
That-
Banquet
those
beer.
are my 2 beers. But if you want to hand me a full flavored American lager, it better be a fucking Budweiser because I know for a fact that's the best because I've tried them all. And I know for a fact Miller Lite's better, so give me the Miller Lite.
I was thinking about you today because I was listening to a podcast and there was a guy talking alcohol.
Couldn't have been last week's.
And it was not. And he was saying that the Beechwood aging is this. They run a string of Beechwood through the barrels, and the Beechwood doesn't change the flavor of the beer so much as it sucks up all the imperfections, and that's what it does.
I know of no other more expensive method.
It's obviously the most expensive.
It's the best. Is that so? It's an impurity thing. It's a filtration.
I think so. Yeah.
You're damn right it is. Because I don't want a beer that tastes like Beechwood.
No.
But you know what else I don't want a beer that tastes like? Budweiser before you filter it through some Beechwood.
That's right.
Because that shit's probably pretty gross.
You know it is. Could it be any other thing but gross?
No, I still think it. I know. See, that's the problem. In my head, I'm a Coors guy. In my mouth, I take a Miller Lite.
And what matters is what's in your mouth.
I've always said that. I've always said that.
You have heard. I've had $1 for every time I've heard you say
that. Yeah, but what's in your mouth?
Exactly.
Well, that's true. That's right. It matters what's in your mouth, not what's in your heart. It matters what's in your mouth. Remember that, people. It's
that's
not
what
what's
Will
in your
Smith
heart.
Would say. To Chris Rock. Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
And dick.
Well, that's important too.
Well, it's what's in your mouth that matters. I guess I'm going both ways. See it both ways.
Well, I think he had to worry about other dicks as well.
As long as they're talking about it.
Yeah.
Then I guess it's okay.
There you go.
Will Smith knew. He was like, well, that's what I'm getting into.
Yeah.
How's Tupac's dick taste, Will?
There's so many.
Ew.
So many dicks. Oh.
You're sending me down a path, Troy. We don't need to.
I actually had this thought today, too. Speaking of dicks and mouths.
Oh, this is going to be an interesting segue.
So this podcast I was listening to, somebody was talking about dating a porn star. And I got to thinking, like, should you date a porn star? Like, it's a taboo thing, right? Like, most people be like, gross. No.
Let's phone Jimmy Garoppolo and ask him.
Yes, because
Jimmy, what do you think? Yeah, I think you should be dating a porn star. I think I would.
And then I was thinking, like, what's the difference between a porn star, right? Like, depending on, there's different variations of porn stars, but like,
I don't think you're going to sell me on this angle.
No, but if you think about it, a porn star's done things your girlfriends probably have. There's just video of it.
That's like saying dating a prostitute is no different, because the only difference between a prostitute and a porn star is the video
and the testing. Right?
Oh, well, okay. And the only difference between an Amsterdam prostitute and a porn star is the video. In fact, I've always thought.
So would you rank a porn star a worse date than a prostitute?
Ooh, yes.
So you'd rather
No, I'd rather date a porn star.
Okay. But why? Because the video makes it worse, right? Because if I were to say, oh, so-and-so over there, he's dating a prostitute, there's no proof of this. But if you're like, oh, so-and-so's dating a porn star, and you're like, go to this website. You can see
this is messed up. This is messed up, but here's why.
And then there's stripper, throw in stripper.
Here's why.
Okay.
Because we're guys.
Yes.
And we battle about things, and there's only so many things we can battle about, right?
Yeah.
It's how we fight and how we fuck.
Yeah.
And this is kind of what guys measure each other on.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is the reality of it. Now, if I told you I was dating a prostitute, you'd be like, ew.
Yeah, I would.
Gross. But if I told you I was dating that girl that every one of you masturbated to,
yeah,
you're like, damn. It's different.
Yeah, because when I think prostitute, I think destitute, like on a scale of 1 to 10, more of a 5 or 4, you know, like.
And the barrier to entry for a prostitute is far lower than a porn star.
Well, not anymore, right? I mean,
I'm just saying, you gotta, it's just different. Anyone at any time.
Yeah, because when you say prostitute, you're not saying Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman.
Okay.
The most
that movie is more of a fairy tale than fucking Tangled or Snow White or Cinderella. That is
by far.
I mean, come on.
Well, she was wholesome because she didn't kiss.
This shit. Yes, technically speaking, that was her line. That was her line.
That was her logic.
But ass to mouth is perfectly fine. That's acceptable. We're good there. But I won't kiss you.
Her after
and
that.
Yeah, guess what? I don't want to kiss you on account of the ass to mouth.
So then
you're killing me, dude.
So prostitute would be the worst, and porn star would be better to date.
Yes.
And stripper would be better to date than either, right?
I'm torn. Because for $1, I can get your stripper girlfriend to show me a tits.
That hurt. Well,
so I actually go prostitute's the worst, then stripper. Porn star actually is higher on the pedestal for me.
True, $1 I can see your girlfriend's boobs, but for free I can see your porn star's best of
online
on the internet.
Yeah,
but not real life.
See, you're a perv.
Gosh.
Yeah. See, you're just a perv.
Then it's back when you searched out my girlfriend.
You searched out my girlfriend.
You're disgusting.
What an asshole. Yeah, what an asshole.
But
you went to the strip club, threw $1. You bought a lap dance for $20.
You're a sucker.
You're a sucker. Yeah.
She came home to me. Sucker.
Yeah. And she's that much closer to a PhD.
I don't know why that popped in my head. I've never dated any of them and never would, but that did just pop into my head. Like when they were talking about, it was a famous person talking about dating a porn star, and I was like, yeah, it's just the video, right? Porn star and prostitute, it's just the video.
So I've often thought that there's $1 million to be made for the guy that opens a brothel and he sets up cameras and he just says, this is our porn studio.
Yeah.
And you show up and you got to pay $500 and you get a recording of it and you've made a porno.
Oh, like for couples?
No.
Oh, for anyone?
Here's our actresses.
Oh, okay.
You walk in. You say it's $500.
And you can do whatever you want with it.
You're going to make a video.
Not to put out, just for your
sure. If you want to put it out, put it out. But it's a porn video. In fact, no. If you want to put it out, you have to pay more because those are rights.
Yeah.
And so, couldn't you technically open a brothel just about anywhere and call it porn videos and just record it?
I don't see why not.
Just we turn on this camera. I'm going to leave you two to be.
Yeah.
At the end of it, here's your DVD.
You could actually, depending on the setup, you could have like multi-camera angles and like
now I can charge so much more.
Producer in the room next door, zooming in, moving.
Yeah, you want to make it weird? Let's get weird. You want the basic package? There's the recorder. It's on.
There's one camera off to the side.
It's just standard.
Yeah.
That's the $500 shot. But then we can go up from there. But I mean, isn't that a loophole that technically would work? And I get that there's ordinances in certain places, but I mean, in California, you have the opportunity to just open brothels.
Nevada too, right? Isn't that where the one?
But that's actually brothels.
Yeah.
I'm saying like in California,
that's where all the porn's made.
Yeah. So why don't they just open a brothel, set up video cameras, and be like, we're recording?
Oh, yeah, for like the top 20% of girls that are famous, you could be like, would you like to be in a movie?
But not even like it could just be the average. It just gives the prostitute somewhere safe to go.
Yeah.
They're not going to get arrested. And these guys have to pay, and they're paying for something they can take with them.
Yeah.
And now it's not prostitution, it's just porn.
Yeah, well, that's always been the whole thing with the whole prostitution versus porn. Like, you're recording one, so it's porn. You're not recording
video,
others,
it's a movie.
And the other one's illegal. But why? Like,
stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, all of it should be legal. It should all be legal. But I'm saying there is a loophole here that I can't believe nobody has exploited.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know a lot of guys who probably would want to just, air quotes, make a porno.
And there's probably a lot of guys out there that would pay top dollar to finally get laid.
Well, now you're seeing it.
Get a lot less of those incels running around being mad at the world.
Now you're seeing it, right? It makes sense. It's time for a deli.
It is. We're late to the deli. We're 49 and a half minutes in. Who would have thunk it? This beer looks familiar. This is the Blue Moon Light Sky. It is a tropical wheat. 95 calories, 3.4 grams. The Light Sky is brewed with pineapple and orange peel, which I am interested to try. This is 4.0% ABV, and it is in the cute little 12-ounce slim can. I do not remember the name of the other Blue Moon we had. When Brendan gets back, he will speak on this. But I know we've had one that looks like this. I think it had Sky in the name, but it was not pineapple and orange peel based. So, do you remember the name of that?
So that's the thing. It's still the Light Sky.
Oh, it was a Light Sky. Okay.
The difference being
This is the tropical wheat version.
that's a tangerine wheat.
Oh, okay.
They've come out with this. This is their new one, and this is pineapple
And orange.
Orange
Peel. Not
so it's slightly
orange.
different. The other one's tangerine wheat. This is pineapple and orange. Now, they're trying to tell us that this is different enough
That
people will either seek this out or seek out the other. So they're actually turning the Light Sky into its own kind
Brand.
of line.
I guess they're all the slim can, like 3.4 carbs isn't that low on the carb scale.
No, but it's low on the calorie scale.
Yeah, but in the Miller Lite like 96 calories and like 3-something carbs. Like,
Well, see, the Miller Lite is actually the perfect light beer,
well, it's beer first and foremost.
which helps.
Yeah, what is the Miller Lite? I know it's 96 calories because I hear a stupid commercial for it all the time. Of course, you can't read anything on it.
No, I can see it. I just can't see. Let me get this piece together for you there, Troy.
Yeah.
I got you. We're looking at 4.2 alcohol, 3.2 carbs. So basically, you're drinking a Miller Lite.
Yeah,
That's what you're doing.
a more flavorful.
But the question is it better than the tangerine wheat? That's what we're going to find out today.
Yeah, this is the tropical wheat. The tangerines.
I can tell you on the nose,
very pineapple-y.
I like the pineapple on the nose.
I do like pineapple.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all.
I wish we had the other Light Sky to bounce it off of because I don't remember. I know I'm assuming we like the other Light Sky.
It did very well. This is the funny thing about the deli.
Blue Moon.
This
does
is the
well.
deli right here. This is why this is interesting. I had this beer
Yes,
and I thought,
you've already had this.
I did. Because I bought this beer because I was going to do a podcast. And then my whole world exploded. And I thought, I'm going to have a beer.
Always there for me.
Yeah.
The one thing I can count on.
Yeah, that's exactly
Beer.
right. Beer.
When
The
everything
solution,
else is blowing up around me, I can have a beer.
as Homer Simpson said, beer.
Yeah.
The solution and cause
Yep.
of all my problems.
I think he says all the world's problems.
Yeah. So I drank this the other day and I thought to myself, that tastes exactly like the other fucking Blue Moon. What a waste of my time. Now I'm drinking it under the lens of the deli.
The microscopic lens of the deli.
Yep. And I'm smelling it. And I'm immediately smelling pineapple.
Yeah.
And I dig that.
Pineapple front for sure.
Which is the one thing I said, it doesn't have it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I drank 2 of them and then moved on. But this, it smells like pineapple.
Yeah. Tastes like pineapple.
But not so pineapple-y that I'm losing the citrus.
The back end is, for me, pineapple front, citrus back end. As the flavor's moving out of my mouth, it's more citrusy.
I would love to have a different take or extrapolate on that, but that's it.
Yeah, that's exactly.
There's nothing fancy about this.
No.
It tastes like a pineapple, and then it tastes like an orange.
Yep.
Yep.
It's light,
Yep.
crisp,
Yep.
refreshing.
Yep.
Great poolside day drinking.
Yep. Might be the shortest deli you've ever done. What other tasting notes are you going to pull from it?
It tells you what it is and it delivers. I mean, can't be mad at that.
For that, it's a 4. For that. Mm-hmm. As far as like somebody telling me what a beer is and then what it tastes like, because they never do that.
No.
It's always like, you're going to get notes of guava, but only guava in October.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
And then they name off 8 other flavors profiles, and you're like, hold on, wait, what?
Citra hop complemented by the mosaic hop.
Yeah.
With just a hint. Like, what?
Yeah.
No, this is
coriander followed by, lemon zest.
this literally just tastes like what they said it is.
Yeah. This is wild.
For that, I'm happy.
Yeah.
They might actually get it half a point on principle. They didn't lie.
I can't argue. We like things that are truthful, and this is one of them.
Honesty is important. Brewed with pineapple and orange peel. I'll be damned. I think you're right, Blue Moon, Light Sky.
This is exactly so. We've determined this is basically the same calorie and carbs as a Miller Lite. So, do you want a beer? Because this does not taste like beer. To me, if I were drinking this blindfolded, I don't think it really doesn't taste beer. It kind of tastes like it could be a seltzer almost.
But this is more beer than that Bud Next.
That was awful.
But you see, they called that a beer, and that was a seltzer. This is beer adjacent.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't a seltzer. I'd rather drink this than a seltzer.
I think I would too. Except seltzers have 1 carbs or less than 2. So if you're counting carbs.
Yeah, but I'm not.
Yeah, but I'm just people do that now. That's why seltzers are so popular.
But this is low cal adjacent. I'm good with this. Troy, I'm going to let you go first because I'm going to flub this if you do what I think you're going to do.
You're going to flub it on purpose?
I need to see what you do.
I love the taste of this. I really do. And I want to give it a really high score. But being that I can't really I shouldn't judge it for what it is. It is what it is. I should like it for what it is.
As long as you do, you're going to give me one of 2 numbers in my mind. I'm going to flub it based on whatever number you give. I'm being honest.
I can't give it a 4.
Okay, so what can you give it?
Because it's just not. It's not so flavorful, and it's not a beer, but it's a delicious, refreshing drink. So I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
I figured you would.
Did you think I might go 4?
Those were the only 2 options. Am I right?
That you heard the 2 numbers that came out of my mouth.
Am I right?
I thought about giving it a 4, but it's a Light Sky with pineapple and orange. I just don't feel right giving it a.
Yeah, because it's a
4.
shitty beer.
I mean, it's not shitty in that.
For that reason, Troy.
You're going under 3.5.
No, I'm going to give it a 4.
Oh, wow.
Because you didn't give it the 4, I would have given it a 3.5.
Okay.
Because the truth is that the summer is here.
It's a 3.75.
That's right. And one way or another, this should fall into that deli category because everybody will like this.
Yes. I think all the men and women of the world will.
That's what I'm saying. And so if you went 3.5, I was going 4. And if you went 4, I was going 3.5.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, this is a 3.75.
Yeah.
And so I flubbed it. I didn't go 3.5 because that's not fair.
Yes.
Because this is a deli.
I would agree with that.
But it can't be a 4.
It can be a 4.
It can't be a 4.
No.
Because this beer,
air quotes,
is kind of a half-ass beer. But it tastes like pineapples and oranges.
It tastes so delicious.
And it doesn't taste sweet.
No.
There's not a sweetness in it. There's not a sickiness. There's
and
not
it's
none of that
not
bullshit.
overpowering.
Not overpowering.
It finishes light.
And it goes away.
Yep.
And it is something I would want to drink. I will drink. You will see this in my fridge and in my cooler all summer when it's hot.
I don't recall how much I like the Light Sky, but I love the taste of this. I would probably buy this before the Light Sky because I'm assuming the Light Sky didn't have as much
orangey.
flavor.
It's just orangey. It tastes like a Blue Moon with an orange in it.
But
it just is light. Like
yeah.
this. So that's great if you want. But if you want that little,
this
hint.
belongs in every cooler that's on a beach or at a pool. Like this is a day drink,
no doubt about it,
fun timing,
and that's why I was going to flub the answer based on what you said. As long as you chose one of those 2 numbers, because if you hadn't chosen one of those 2 numbers, I would have thought, okay, I am not reading this right.
Yeah,
dude, that's a 3.75, and it had to get there. However, it had to get there. That's a deli.
I love this beer.
I'm going to have another one.
We'll do the same.
That'll show us. I'm not going to sit my ass in an inner tube this summer without that beer.
Yeah, for real.
That's the reality of it.
I can literally see myself standing in the neighborhood pool with the dads in a circle crushing these all afternoon long.
I wish it didn't have to come in a slim can.
They're just a thing now. They're like...
I don't have to like it.
No.
I don't have to like it.
I'll say this. I was a Coors drinker for so long.
The original slim?
Yeah, but I'd like a standard size can.
It's nice.
I just like it's just tall enough, just wide enough. I like a regular size can.
But a tropical wheat.
But I like that beer.
That little bit of pineapple in there is refreshing as shit.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well played, Light Sky Tropical Wheat. And this is why I wanted to put it on the microscope.
Yeah.
Because I'm not kidding you.
You didn't taste all that.
I go, fuck this beer.
Wow.
I drank it and I go, I'll just buy Light Sky. Citrus.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was like, this ain't for me.
Where'd you get it? You're lucky? Or was this a Wegmans purchase?
Wegmans.
I'm assuming you can find this everywhere.
Or not even Wegmans. This is Publix. If you want to get technical.
Yeah.
It's a grocery store. This is everywhere. And they had them, and I know they're everywhere because when I was walking down the aisles, they had them stacked.
Oh, not even in the cooler.
Yeah, and I looked at my wife and I go, look at that. They got some different kind of Light Sky. And I was like, I'm going to get a 6-pack. I don't want to get a 12-pack. And then I went over and all they had were 12-packs everywhere. And I was like, well, 12 it is.
You know, if they got it stacked up outside the cooler, they're like, this shit's going to move.
Yeah. Little did I know, I needed a 12-pack.
And now I need a 12-pack because that's pretty delicious.
Welcome to the Terror Dome.
I'm going to have to grab some of that next time I go to the lake.
Yeah, that's not bad. It's not bad. Hey, so we've been analyzing the podcast a little bit, right?
Yeah.
We were talking about the fact that 7 years we hadn't missed a show.
The numbers are good.
Numbers are good. Things are okay.
People are reaching out to let us know they're still listening, which we appreciate.
It's an interesting week. If I'm going to put a silver lining, I guess, right? It was that.
Yeah.
It was that y'all motherfuckers don't have anything going on in your life. You're fucking worried about this piece of shit show. But that's fine. That's your demons.
They love us. They really love us. Yeah, that's your problem.
That's your problem, not mine. And so I found this tool, right? It's called SpyFu. You familiar with SpyFu?
SpyFu? F-U?
Yes.
Is this like your, didn't you have a...
You gonna bring up Fengwu?
Fengwu, that's what it was.
You gonna bring up Fengwu?
Is this Fengwu adjacent?
Now that you say it, it probably is. But Fengwu, man, that is the yin and the yang of the street and nature, man. Don't get it twisted.
Oh, I'm not hating on Fengwu.
Y'all get it twisted, but Fengwu.
I remember those shirts. I need those T-shirts. That was street style for sure.
Wish a motherfucker would.
Before Rockaware.
Yes, dude. Fengwu in my mind is still the only way to succeed in this world.
You got to get a logo, and I'll rock that shit.
Dude, I'm a Fengwu guy.
I got a T-shirt girl.
You gotta be feet in the streets, smart about it, get your hustle on.
That's right.
This is an interesting world we live in, man. This urban jungle, you need to be on it. You better have your woo.
And then you got to have your couch in the right direction.
Oh, you better understand. You better understand that there's something bigger than you in this world.
Yeah.
And that fang, man, you better have that stuff buttoned up. You better have your life in balance. You know, nature is real. That stuff is moving without you, and it'll move on forever. But in this day and age, if you don't have an ear to the street, you're humped. Bang woo!
You know what's wild about nature? You ever seen like a house or a property that's been abandoned for like 2 or 3 years? Like nature takes over so fast.
That's right.
And you think like, if I bought this house and I lived in it for 10 years, I would wear out the doors and the carpets, and I'd wear out the HVAC and the roof. I'm going to buy this property. I'm not going to go in it. I'm not even going to go in it for a couple of years. Just let it accrue, and I'm not going to put the wear and tear of having me in it. And then 2 years later, the shit's a dilapidated wreck. And you're like,
right.
How did me just not even coming in and out of this door ruin it? Like, it's so weird.
All right, now you got me on a second topic.
Okay.
So
back to your original one. Sorry to.
Now you got me doubled.
Okay. Back to topic 1.
Topic 1. I'm looking on SpyFu. So SpyFu, what that does, I use it in my line of work to understand what a website has working or not working, right? There's something called search engine optimization, SEO.
SEO. I've heard it on Shark Tank.
Okay. SEO, really just to break it down, all that is making sure that your website has enough of the keywords and that it's built up. So if somebody searches for something on Google, that you will show up in the organic results. So if your SEO is poor, then you will not show up when people search for something.
So like if someone looks, Google Richmond's #1 sports podcast, beer tasting deli.
Okay. This is funny. You and I have not discussed this.
No.
So this is the example you're giving. You say somebody searches Richmond's #1 sports podcast, beer drinking, Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah.
You would think.
One would think we would.
That InsideThePalletHouse.com
be #1.
Would pop right to the top. So I ran InsideThePalletHouse.com through SpyFu.
Oh, okay.
So I could get an understanding of what our most important keywords are. What pops up? Like, what is that site about? And that's what SpyFu will tell you.
Okay.
So you can understand, okay, if I need to do more of this or less of this so that we show up in searches. And it really helps.
Does this search our entire database of our website, like every word that's on it?
Apparently.
So I think I know where you're going. Like, what do you think comes up for us?
So here's what's fucking crazy. It takes into account where most people go and searches that our website, what it really does is go, if this search happens, what are you relevant for?
Yeah.
And it'll show us what's popping.
Yeah.
Right? And it's really helpful when you're trying to do SEM, which is search engine marketing, which is Google ads. So I say, what's Richmond's best podcast? A paid ad could show up.
Yeah.
Because we said, I want to buy those keywords.
Yeah.
SEO is I don't have to buy shit. Organically, I'm the best.
Yeah.
What do you think the Inside the Pallet House website, when people search for, is found the most often? Like, what searches on Google lead people to our website?
I think I know.
Take a guess. You are wrong.
Delis.
Okay, give me 3 because I have the top 3 written here. What are the 3?
Does it come from our write-ups? What would it come from? What's the
all the words and all the text and all the stuff that's on our
website.
It's on our site. So every episode, everything that's happened, there are certain things that people search for where they have naturally found our site. And the most people who visit our site came through these 3 terms.
Okay, so deli is one because we have the acronym deli, but you could search for Richmond Deli, and we say deli every week, so it could pop up.
Okay.
Now, I'm not a computer nerd, so maybe I'm way off. I feel like penises get brought up a lot here.
Awkward. Okay. Awkward.
And funny comedy, something in that. I feel like that's in a write-up a lot.
So you've got delis, penises, and comedy.
Yeah.
Those are your 3.
That's what we're about. That's our lifestyle.
I got it. The number 1 reason people come to our website is Malort.
Really?
Number 1 reason is Malort.
So it's not that we say Malort the most. It's just that term is so searched, and we have talked about it enough that
Google
it moves it to the top.
That Google goes, well,
if you're looking for Malort,
this is relevant to Malort. And
Malort.
so people end up finding their way to our site.
We are Richmond's #1 Malort podcast.
On an average right now, the keywords Malort brings us about 80 visits a month.
That is crazy.
Yeah. So if we leaned into Malort,
which we kind of do, but we should lean more.
I agree. I'm looking at a picture of Malort there. There's Malort over here. I mean, there's a bottle on the wall. There's here. Google was right again.
My neighborhood dads love it. Like, it's like a rite of passage. Just like, it's the thing that, like, guys, it's only a thing guys would do.
Of course.
Like,
Of course.
oh, we have this delectable cotton candy drink over here, or this one that tastes like a foot. Well,
I'll have the foot. What do you think the number two
I gave you all three of them. And was I even close?
This one is
mind-blowing.
This is my favorite one. No, the next two are my favorite.
Oh, wow. So you're good. So you're working 3-1 here.
No, one is Malort.
I know, but you're working from your favorites. Like you're getting.
This one's great. When people search out the term, is Caillou dead?
It takes them to our website?
Yeah.
How many times have we talked about wishing death on Caillou?
One episode.
Wow.
We literally had an episode.
Was it a name of the episode or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it bubbles right up to the top because there's a whole page on our website, according to Google, that's dedicated to Caillou being dead.
So we need to start naming
Better.
our website, our episodes like Amber Heard pooped in Johnny Depp's bed.
Yeah. No, because those things, though, there's so much other content.
Oh, yeah. So like obscure things, I guess, but
relevant.
relevant but obscure,
Like-
or lower level relevancy.
But like, we should probably say the word podcast a few more fucking times.
Do we?
Considering, dude, number one is Malort.
Yeah.
Number two is Caillou dead? Like that particular search.
We didn't even answer that question, I'm sure.
Yeah, I went on a rant.
Yeah.
So is Caillou dead?
Everybody hates Caillou.
Number two. Yeah. You're telling me. In fact,
Whiny little brat.
you know what this episode is probably going to be called? Malort, comma, is Caillou dead?
Comma.
The last one, Keto Crotch.
Oh my gosh. I couldn't have been any more off.
When people look up, is Keto Crotch a thing?
They come to our website.
They find us. And that's because women who don't eat carbs develop
Worry about
that
the
keto crotch.
That's what it was, right?
We had
Like
a whole talk about
the
that.
Atkins diet making the
Vagina smell bad.
yeah.
So we ranted on that for a while. These are our three. This is what brings people to our site. Not
That
a
is
podcast,
insane.
not Richmond, not delis, not any of the things we're good at.
Or the things we pride ourselves on, or the things we talk about the most.
They literally show up here for Malort, is Caillou dead, and Keto Crotch.
Malort I get.
Sure.
Malort I get.
Because it comes up in multiple things, and that's why it's number one.
Yeah.
And that's why we get 80 website visits a month of people going, hey.
How many people want to know if Caillou's dead a month?
Apparently parents hate Caillou. They hate Caillou. And so some of our listeners have organically found us because they're like, oh shit, I searched if Caillou's dead and this podcast was talking about, I'll listen to that. And now we have listeners that probably came through the fact that we ragged Caillou.
Hey, we're still with you, listeners. We
And
hate Caillou.
there is a gaggle of stank pussies listening to the show.
Hey, we love you too.
love you more.
Yeah. Pixar didn't happen.
Oh, timely Troy.
But
This
maybe they're not stanky. Maybe we're getting the ones that aren't.
No, you know what we're doing? We're letting them know that they're normal.
Yes.
And this has to be the episode of this episode.
The episode of the
Our three
the
most
title of this
our
episode.
three
Yeah,
most
yeah.
search terms. Because damn it, if we're not going to bubble to the top.
And I want to confuse the holy hell out of our faithful listeners when they go, what in the hell did they talk about this week?
And you know what the whole write-up should be? Malort, comma, is Caillou dead, comma, Keto Crotch, period. Malort, comma.
Yeah.
Because
Flip them.
I think we've cracked the system. This is what people find us for. Let's lean in.
We'll have to do Caillou and Keto Crotch and Malort updates every week.
Apparently this is it. And I'm an advertising guy. Like SEO is important. I don't want to not be found when these terms get searched.
I know the wife and I watch Shark Tank religiously, and I know they talk SEOs every episode. Like it's very important
because it's very important.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to lean in.
If we had known 7 years ago,
Yeah, it would have
we
just
could have
called
just been called "Welcome to Inside the Malort Keto Crotch."
Caillou's
Caillou
dead.
House.
Yeah, because Pallet House doesn't even fucking show up at the top. And when you look at like related things, it's all like Bob Vila shit.
Oh yeah.
Like our names, we have ruined SEO to the point that we're most found for Keto Crotch.
We really did pick a bad name.
Horrible.
It sounded good.
Okay, you know whose fault it is?
Ours?
No, but you know where the whole Pallet House thing comes from?
I thought one of us threw it out and we all liked it and agreed with it.
But you know who threw it out?
I thought it was me, but you say it was you.
No, it was you.
Oh, it was me. Okay.
I wanted to call this place the Public House.
Yes.
I wanted it to be a pub. Old school pub.
Yeah.
And you go, but all the pallets is the pallet. I said Public House, and you go, no. Pallet House.
Well, I didn't know what a public house was.
It's a pub.
Yes, I know now.
Yeah. And I thought it made sense because
Yeah.
it's the public house in the neighborhood. Everyone comes over, we hang out. And
But
you were like, but it's the Pallet House because you twisted.
You had the pallets were your thing.
I know, but you twisted my Public House thing.
All right,
you
well,
turned
that's
it
on
into
me.
Pallet House.
I'll take the fall for that.
And then when
But
the
I
podcast
don't think inside
started,
the public house would have been either better, even better, any better, I should say.
No, but I can't blame me. I blame you.
I'll take the L. Let's start over.
Can
Hit
we
reset?
Okay, can we burn this to the ground? Can we shut this thing down?
Sure. And then we could just lean back into the Malort and the Keto Crotch.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Keto Crotch. Malort, Caillou's Dead.
Weekly. The number one Richmond podcast where we discuss all things Malort, Keto Crotch, and the death of Caillou. If you listened to last week's episode, you probably know where we stand on these topics, but let's rehash.
Let's rehash. Fuck Caillou. Yeah. Malort's disgusting. I'm in. Keto Crotch, come on, girls. You look great.
Yeah. We love you.
I mean,
see you next week, guys.
I was blown away. Like
That's wild.
I just decided to throw it in, and I was like, no, that is not.
What were you thinking the results were going to be?
Something positive.
The Malort one's positive. I think that I'd like to. I'm proud to say that we're.
It's a badge of honor.
Yeah.
Honestly, when that one bubbled to the top, I was like, I get that.
Yeah.
But when I got to 2 and 3, and then I started really diving into the metrics, the 2 and 3, and I was like, this is ridiculous. This is not good.
Well, it's funny too because the Caillou thing is Caillou's been off the air for who knows how long. I think it was off the air when our 12-year-olds were kids.
Because we killed him.
And Keto Crotch was a thing that I haven't heard about in, I don't know what.
But that's what killed Caillou. Ironically.
It's mom's Keto Crotch.
Yeah. Caillou.
That's how my great-grandfather went.
Caillou took a shot at Malort. He went over to his little girlfriend's house. And he was like, your pussy stinks. And then the dad came out and was so furious he killed Caillou. That's actually how it happened.
That makes sense. I do remember that episode now you mentioned.
Now that you mentioned, see? Literally what our SEO.
That is wild.
Those are our rankings. That's us, dude. In a nutshell. How sad is that? Out of 7 years of all this great content, that is what bubbles to the top.
And I didn't even, now that I'm thinking about all the great content we put out, like, we've had some way funnier episodes about some way funnier topics.
Right?
All for nothing.
All for nothing. Because we've been reduced to that.
To these things.
If we're going to talk about crotches, I thought Mona Lisa's smile was far better. Far better.
So does it only give you the top 3 or did the list continue?
I didn't pay. I have the no pay version. It gives me my top 3. It shows me what's going on.
But you could do a pay version and list off 100 or whatever.
Yeah, and I can be disappointed 97 more times.
Just you'll hear things that like we don't even remember talking about.
Yeah, that's precisely it. Like I was kind of bummed.
Wow.
But I've gotten over it. Because you know why? Because the world is spinning outside of these walls, and it's fucking sad.
It's a lot. The world's a lot.
It's a lot, man. This is my therapy, and I didn't take it last week because I couldn't do it. I couldn't feel better. I didn't even want to feel better.
You were not in the space to feel better.
But you know what I mean? You ever get in a space where you're like, I don't even want to feel better.
Oh yeah.
I want to stay right here because the world is fucked.
If we're being real, I was shook last week because you are the guy who openly says, I like to be sad from time to time. And I was worried about your mental health because I know you like to wallow in it. And I was like, I'm gonna let him do his thing and I'm gonna stay back. But at some point I gotta get over there and check on him and make sure we're in a good space here.
You weren't wrong. I'd be lying to you if I said my thoughts didn't go.
Oh, I'm sure. I know you well enough to know you went deep.
It was bad. It was bad. I didn't want to. I won't.
You didn't want to continue where you were.
Correct.
Yeah.
I didn't want to continue. And that's a fucking dark feeling, man. That's a dark feeling.
Well, we're here. I'm here. The listeners are here, and I'm glad you're doing better this week.
And apparently there's a couple hundred motherfuckers who were seeking out Malort and it's Caillou Dead and Keto Crotch that are also here.
Yeah.
Joining me on this particular journey.
And we love them.
I do. I'm going to shut this one down though.
I think we've done enough. We set a goal and we exceeded it. So I think we're good.
I'm glad you're here, man.
Glad to be back.
I'll give you that. I'm glad you listeners are here. Honestly, I know I didn't respond, and I know a lot of people didn't respond, and we kind of left a lot of you in the dark that did reach out. Know that you're a data point. That's essentially what you were reduced to over the last week, but every one of you that reached out, that data point was noticed. It was acknowledged, and it helped.
We know you need your ITPH, but we also know you guys want all of us to be in our best health as well. And that's a lot of the reaching out we got. It was worry. It was, hey, are you guys okay? We know you guys do this every week. Are you guys okay?
Yeah, it was strange.
Yeah.
It was strange, but at the same time, it was comforting.
Yeah.
It was, without talking about it.
We didn't get hit by a bus. We're
still here.
Yeah.
We're still here, but the world is dark. And I got a funny feeling that if all these things are happening, they're probably happening elsewhere. So I do want to say, you got us, we got you. Thank you all so much for tuning in week in, week out.
That's what really, hit me last week when so many people reached out. I was thinking we could be their escape during their dark time,
No, that's why I'm standing here today.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna help where we can. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, week out. Thanks for giving a fuck. Thanks for putting us in the top 60% of the podcasts in the world.
Yep.
Which is pretty interesting to find out. So no, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you haven't had a chance to get a mortgage or sunglasses, do it.
Yeah, it's mortgage and sunglass season.
Yeah, that's exactly right. With Nectar Sunglasses, Screen Door Mortgage. That's the plug.
That's it.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be talking to you next week. Cheers.
Cheers. That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?
Despite all odds.
I'm impressed.
Safe home, Lutz.
Feels good to be back.